Welcome back, music fans, for another episode of Off the Record, a show where we interview the sickest bands in the Merrimack Valley and beyond. I am your host, Shannon Keating, and my co-host today is the beautiful and talented Sean Smith. How's it going, Sean?
It's going good.
Awesome. So, now I am extremely excited about our guest today. Definitely a fan favorite here at HC Media Radio. Her new album, Only Roses, comes out May 14th. Please welcome the one and only Carissa Johnson. Carissa, how are you today?
I'm great. How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. Now, before we get into talking about your new album, I'm sure the fans want to know, and by the fans, I mean me. I'm speaking for your fans because I am a huge fan. How did music first become a part of your life? Was it something that was like self-discovered, or does it run in the family?
It definitely runs in the family. My dad was in a band, actually with Mr. Matt Belfiore, and they were playing when I was young, and there were guitars all around all the time. And I just remember he'd play with the Ramones and the Beatles, and I just like certain songs would stick in my head, and I'd just be like, "What is this magic?" And I went to my first concert in like third grade.
Oh wow!
And ever since that day, I was like, I know what I have to do now.
Yeah. What was your first concert?
It was actually Avril Lavigne, back when she was like,
back when she was cool.
Yeah. But it was her tour was Simple Plan at the Songus Arena, and I was just like energized by the whole thing. And
nice.
I picked up a guitar a couple years after that, and then my dad taught me some chords, and music's definitely just been around my family for like a really, really long time, and it's like in me.
Nice. Now, your first band was Left Hand Blue?
Yep.
And that was 2010?
It was, I think I joined it in late 2009, and then I quit in 2014, I think.
Yeah, that's what it says on the Facebook, I think.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I was in there for about 5 years, and that was definitely a cool experience. It was my means of playing out live and learning how the whole thing works.
Yeah.
And Matt Minigel, he's doing his solo thing now. He was the singer in the band, and he was like the main songwriter too. And we put out 4 albums in that time.
Oh wow!
And it was a good run.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Okay, so who are some of your biggest influences? Like, your style reminds me a lot of like early Joan Jett, like
That's
the
awesome.
Runaways kind of stuff.
That's definitely a huge influence.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can totally see that, like your music and your style.
Oh, thank you.
Who are some of your other?
Definitely a lot of the 70s stuff, a lot of the punk stuff. I grew out of like the New York scene and the LA scene.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Sex Pistols and the Jam, and the Ramones, of course, and Joan Jett's number one. David Bowie, a lot of the glam rock too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love that stuff. T-Rex and Gary Glitter.
Nice.
And want to bring that stuff back.
Now, she went on tour last year. Did you get to catch her?
I did, actually, in Las Vegas.
Oh, nice.
Which was
That's
completely
awesome.
Unexpected, because I was there to do an album with my friend Phil for his project. And we just found out that she was in town, and I'm like, oh my God, like, we're done with everything in the studio, like, let's go. And I actually made it to the front row. I got a general admission ticket.
Whoa.
And I snuck my way into the front, like, it wasn't easy. The security guards were like, they could tell I was trying to like get in there. But a fight actually broke out between the 2 people next to me.
Oh,
and
wow.
one of the security guards picked me up and put me in the front row. And then Joan like stopped the show because they were fighting, and she was just like right there in my face. I was like, oh my God, Joan.
That's so
awesome. Yeah, it was so cool. She puts on an awesome show.
Wow. So your first album, Uppercase E, has like a really different sound than your last album for now.
Sure, yeah.
It's kind of like acoustic indie rock stuff.
Yeah.
And now your new stuff is more like punk inspired rock. Mm-hmm. Can you account for like that shift in tone?
Yeah, I think the first album I was super anxious. I remember that recording process. I think I did it in like 2 sessions, like 6 songs each, and I was just there for like a few hours just like banging them out. And it was my first real like studio experience just by myself. And I didn't really know how to go about the solo project. Mm-hmm. And at first it just started out acoustic. And I had that like punk energy in me that I wanted to get out, but I didn't really know how to like get it out there. So I just did the acoustic thing for a while. And I think the change was just that I started to play with a band. I started to bring in more musicians for the albums. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, well, now I have all these other things at my disposal, so I'll like use this and like get a real drummer in here and really flesh out the songs, get a click track, and like I just wanted to grow from that album and do things differently so I could like keep changing up the sound.
Nice.
But I think the energy was always there, but I think I just learned how to execute it better over time.
Yeah. It's like a trial.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Getting your footing.
Yeah, there was a lot of trial and error in that first album. I can't even listen to it. It's
I really like it.
Oh, thanks. I want to redo the whole album, but like full band.
Oh yeah,
and, like, re-release
that'd be
it.
awesome.
That'd be cool.
So I see your songwriting ability as like in the same light as other really honest singer-songwriters like Fiona Apple and Alanis Morissette.
Oh, cool.
But your lyrics are really heartfelt and profound, but they're still like really relatable, which I think is like really important. So what inspired you to write the songs from For Now?
With For Now, there was definitely a point in my life when I was like in a lot of things I didn't want to be a part of. Mm-hmm. I was in college, and then I was in a band I didn't want to be in, and I was just like not able to really do my own thing, and I felt really suppressed. So there was a lot of like pent up energy in me, and I was writing a lot, but I just didn't have an outlet for it. So I had started the album before I joined the band, and in this band it was I was just the bassist, so I was just kind of in the background, and I was like I didn't really want to be there, but I didn't have any motivation to really start my own thing. Mm-hmm. So writing's always been just my escape and like my way of like getting out anything, because sometimes I can't like express myself through just like talking and like writing, and just singing it is like the best means for me.
Yeah.
So everything can just like flow out, and that's actually the first song, Ink. That's what that song's about. It's just like everything's just so pent up, and I just like need to get out and like let people know what I can do.
Yeah.
And so I think that suppression, as much as it sucked at the time, it like allowed me to really
fueled your art.
It fueled the whole thing. Yeah. And then I was just like so ready to just get that out there. So that was a huge push behind it all.
Yeah.
And leaving those things, like getting out of school, like putting that on hold, and then getting out of the band. Then I was like, now I finally like found where I should be, and like I know what I want to do now. Mm-hmm. And I still didn't really have the means. I didn't have my own band, so I had to like start that up.
Yeah.
And luckily I had met people through the like those past experiences that like wanted to be a part of it. So I had that motivation to like start my own thing.
Nice.
So yeah, it was definitely a weird time, but the album helped me a lot. So. Mm-hmm.
Every last good intent, making a goddamn mess.
Thanks.
Do you think, like, because I know for a lot of people, they feel like they have to be in pain or going through some sort of struggle to really, like, get something, like, an honest product.
I have friends like that who, they kind of want to be miserable so they can write.
Yeah. Do you think there's some truth to that?
I don't know. I've thought about it a lot because I used to feel that way, too. I was like, well, I have to be doing something I hate in order to like get a good song. So it's like sometimes I put myself in situations where I'd be uncomfortable so I could get a song out of it. But it's like that's almost like what you're trying to go against because it's like, well, if I'm trying to feel this way, then like that's not a genuine emotion either. It's like if you just have to kind of let things happen as they do, I think, and you can't like try to be miserable or try to be, you know. I feel like it's better to try to be happy, honestly. But definitely a lot of my songs are born from like being in a place I don't want to be or like being upset about something. But I definitely don't try to put myself in those situations anymore. And I think it works for some people maybe, but I don't get it, I guess. But yeah, I don't know.
Good. I think try to be happy.
Yeah, totally. I think because I've talked about it with some friends where like we've said like, oh, we can only write if we're sad, but it's like if you can write, you can write. So like you can write about anything. Like you can write about being happy, about other situations. Yeah, totally. Definitely don't want to be miserable.
Totally. So what comes first for you when you're writing a song? Lyrics?
The words.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely the lyrics. And then I try to put that to a melody. And most people I talk to is actually the other way around.
Yeah.
I haven't come across too many like friends at least who do it the same way where it's just pretty much poems that I write and then I put that to I just play chords on my guitar until I find something. And I wish it was the other way around sometimes because I wish I could get melodies in my head and then like start putting words to that. But I
love your melodies though. They're really like
thanks.
Pretty and just surprising.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Glad it's working.
So you recently came home from LA from touring, which is pretty cool, I must say. What was that like?
It was surreal. Every day was just like, I was talking to Lauren, I was just like, I feel like I'm enlightened. Like, I don't even know what's going on. It's just so crazy.
Because you sing about, like, saving up to go to LA, so that must have been crazy.
And I actually wrote that song before I even, like, actually had plans to go. Because since I went in like 2004 when I was younger to go to like a cousin's graduation out in like San Diego, and I just fell in love with the palm trees and the whole vibe there, and I hadn't been back for like 12 years, so I was just like, I gotta go. I gotta just save up and just go.
Yeah.
And so I told Lauren, and we went on a tour last year in just like the East Coast. And we were just kind of joking about it. We're just like, let's go on tour like the West Coast. But I was like, no, I really want to do that. So my drummer came with me, and then Alan, my past drummer, he came with me. And,
did Tanya go with you, or was that?
She didn't, unfortunately. Okay. I wanted it to be a full band tour, but those are definitely harder to get everybody out there with all the equipment and stuff. I don't really know how to do that yet. But hopefully for the next run, we'll do that. But yeah, California was so cool. It was a bunch of small shows. We had like one big one at the Mint. And,
nice.
Yeah, so that was our last show in LA. And then we just spent like the next 2 days in San Diego, just going around the beaches and stuff. And we actually busked a lot. And,
really?
Put the case out and like played on the street.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, made some new friends and some cool connections. And,
nice.
Yeah, it was a good time.
What do you like most about performing live?
I think the challenge of feeding off the audience. Yeah. I like that. Last night we played a show and we didn't make a set list. And I like the spontaneity of everything where like you don't know what's going to happen because every audience is going to be so different. So I like just feeling it out and seeing how people are reacting to certain things and seeing what I can do to get everyone pumped up. So
yeah, totally.
Like I've actually got a question.
Yeah.
What would, in your opinion, be the most challenging thing about touring?
The most challenging thing about touring, I think, when you go on tour, you think that you're going to have all this free time. It's like, oh, let's go to the beaches, we'll just like hang out.
Yeah.
And then you don't realize that you have like maybe an hour of free time because you're going to be like sleeping in, and then you're going to be like, well, now I got to drive to this place, be here for this time, do this. And I think the hardest thing is managing it and like being like, all right, now we got to do this, and like delegating all of like what has to be done for the day.
How many shows did you guys do?
We did pretty much a show every night except for the last 2.
Jeez.
Nice.
So yeah, it was like I think 8 days straight of shows.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was fun. I think it definitely the hardest part is just like, I guess not getting too caught up in wanting to just go see the city and like mess around, because you got to be at the show. And we don't have a manager yet, so you got to do all that myself. You got to
discipline yourselves.
Be the boss. I'm like still learning how to do that.
Nice.
But, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and every place has different like load-in times and everything, so.
Yeah, I got to keep like an itinerary of like the addresses, like the phone numbers, like what each venue requires, all that stuff. So I love it all. I love the business part of it as much as it sucks too. But I like managing it all. Yeah. And living out of a backpack's always fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So your music is played on some pretty well-renowned radio stations, like The River. Like aside from HC Media Radio, I do enjoy The River very much. That's like a huge deal. What's it like hearing your music on the radio? That was a surreal experience when that happened. I submitted to their homegrown thing, and nice. And then like 2 weeks later, they put online like, listen in on Wednesday at 10 o'clock, Ink will be played. And then I was telling all my friends about it, and then I went to Taco Bell with my band, and we just like bought a bunch of tacos and blasted it from the car parking lot. We were just like dancing around. That's so awesome. It was so cool because I listen to The River a lot too, and it's just, I feel like it's always going, like wherever I am, I hear The River. And it was just so cool to be played at like 10 p.m. People are listening to the radio a lot at that time. Totally. So it was like, it felt like it was like prime time. Like, oh my God. Like, and they gave me a cool shout out, and nice. It sounded better than it did on the record to me. So I was like, oh my God. That's awesome. Yeah, it was cool. So your new album, Only Roses, can you tell us what the title means, or do you want to keep that a secret? I'll keep it a little bit secret. Got to listen to the whole record to find out the real meaning. Gotcha. But it's the title track. There's a song on there called Only Roses. Oh, okay. And I was just going back and forth with titles, and I was like, this song I think represents the whole album as a whole. So that's pretty much the meaning behind that. But when you listen to the song, then you can make some interpretations. Oh, all right, cool. So the single Deliria, which honestly up until like an hour ago, I assumed it was pronounced Deliria, but I can't read, and Sean corrected me, luckily enough. I spelled it wrong, actually. Oh, I thought you did it on purpose. Yeah, I did, because I was like, I titled it Deliria with like the E. That's just how I thought it was spelled. Yeah. And then I realized later that it's spelled with an I instead of an E. But then I was like, I don't like that spelling. It doesn't look cool. Yeah. So like I was like, I'm going to go back to the E. So I guess it's unintentionally intentional.
I think it makes more sense with the E, honestly.
Yeah, doesn't it? Deliria.
English.
It's like E, you know. There you go. Like Deliria. Deliria. Anyway, sorry. Oh, no. But yeah, it's always fun to find out that you spelled things wrong and that you published it already. Yep. So the music video is pretty cool. Thanks. Yeah, my friend Andy Hansen did that. Nice. And he's been really great. He did the last video for the single I did for the record, the It's Tomorrow in Melbourne. Yeah. And that's on the record also? That's on the 7-inch vinyl I put out. Oh, okay. And it was actually originally going to be on the album, and then I just started like having too much material where I was like, I'll make it a separate thing. I don't want to like merge things. Mm-hmm. So I ended up keeping that separate. But that's a cool video too. Thanks. Yeah, that one was kind of fun. I was Where'd you get the idea? It was actually Andy's idea, because my original idea was for me to be running in slow motion, singing the song. But then he was like, "How about I'm pulling you in a wagon?" Because like it was just so cool, because he really interpreted the song better than I even did, and just kind of like I felt like I was being pulled by someone else who was in control. And then halfway through the video, I try to get my control, but I don't. And then at the end, I'm like, I strand myself, or I don't. It's like he really read into it. He totally read into it. Yeah. So it's cool when like you have like a basic idea, and then the videographer can just kind of like interpret it their own way and put their vision into it, which he totally did with Deliria. He bought like it was just a $10 prism, actually, like a little glass prism. And the shots in that video, it looks like there's multiple ones layered, but it's actually just one shot. And it's just, he's just refracting the light like all over the place. Oh, wow. And it was so cool.
On camera.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Now, does that have another like hidden meaning, kind of metaphorical with the lyrics?
A little bit. That song I actually wrote because I woke up and I was just seeing these like red dots. I woke up kind of like, I think it was like 3 a.m. and I had a nightmare. And every now and then this happens where like, I feel like I can see the energy. It's just like, sometimes I can see like negative or positive energy.
Yeah.
And especially when I wake up in like that like delirious state. And it was just kind of like, it took me by surprise, and I was like, I can't like let this like get into my head and like.
Was
all
it like
this stuff.
Sleep paralysis? Because that's happened to me before. It's terrifying.
Yeah. Is that when you wake up and you can't move, but you're still like seeing all this stuff?
Yeah. Or you could like see things moving that aren't really there.
That's what it was. Like the walls were like moving and all that stuff. And I just got inspired to write a song about it. And like also like put it together with what was going on in my life at the time too. Where it's just like, I gotta do this. Like I gotta, even if I'm alone in it, I just gotta go and do this, and like trying to like just like defeat that feeling, I guess, of like being out of control.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
In the video for Deliria, you filmed with the whole band. I think this is the first time you've done that. Was it any harder or any easier doing it that way, or?
I wouldn't say it was harder. I think the only challenge was listening to the song 25 times, playing it 25 times.
Yeah. Oh, you had to play it 25 times?
Yeah, just to get different shots.
Yeah.
He wanted to do like 3 of each of us, and then 3 of the band, and then like 3 at other angles and stuff, which was, I mean, that's probably the best way to do it. But it was definitely, I felt bad for Nick, honestly, because he's just like, you know, always banging his head back there. So I think he had a stiff neck at the end of that, but it was fun. I think it was easier because I had them there, and because it was the live shot too, which is like, that's my favorite thing to do. Is like all of us were like, we love doing the live thing, so we're just in our natural habitat. Yeah, nice. And we strung up all those lights too. We brought all these copper wire lights that we were stringing in the ceilings and made a really cool atmosphere for it. So
where were you?
It was actually in our practice space, and it's in my basement at home.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we totally transformed it because that's not what it normally looks like at all. But we're trying to like keep it that way though, because we loved how that whole like the whole place felt. But we got like Christmas lights in there now because we're like. Feels like the music video.
It kind of feels like you're outside. You're in your basement.
Yeah. We hung up a bunch of black curtains, and then we just strung the lights through the ceilings, and then we pretty much just got everything out of there except for what we were playing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, it was another one of Andy's brilliant ideas too. So he has a good vision. With all that sounds
like, has he done like other music videos? Or
he has, his main thing is wedding photography and wedding videos, but he does music videos too. I think he's done like more like dancey songs before. I think I'm not sure how many like rock videos he's done, but he's having a good time. He's going to be doing our next one, which will hopefully be out in April for another new song. So
cool.
Very excited.
Last year in October, I think it was, I saw you playing on stage with Rachel Alex. Yeah. Did anything come of that, or?
Well, Rachel and I have been friends for a really long time. We used to work together at the Sad Cafe. I don't know if you guys know that place. It was like that place was awesome. I miss it. But I used to live there pretty much. We used to work the counter there. And we were in a band called the Manettes. It was like a punk band. The Manettes. And
that's awesome.
She came up with that term. It was like dudette, but manette.
Yeah.
And so we used to play together every now and then, just kind of on the side, because we'd both be like focused on the projects we were doing. Yeah. And so then she got an offer to do that show, and she was like, I got to put a band together. So she just called me up because she knew I played bass. And then we just ended up just practicing for that one show. Oh, okay. And we've thought about doing some house shows together, but nothing's come about it yet. She's pretty busy. She's at Berkeley and working full time, I think. So she's got a lot going on.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah.
So how did you and Tanya originally meet?
So Tanya and I met because I booked the band that I was a part of. They were called Leaving Eden. They were like a metal kind of hard rock band. And I played bass with them for like 5 months. And then January of last year, I decided to quit. And then that's what fueled my project to do like the For Now CD. So before that CD came out, I had some shows already booked with the band, but since I left the band, I wasn't going to play them. And I was 20 at the time, and I couldn't get into the 21 plus shows.
Oh man.
But I had booked us at the Hard Rock, and I booked us with Flight of Fire because they looked so cool to me. I was like, I feel like we're going to be best friends. Like, I got to book them and meet them.
They are awesome.
They're so cool.
Yeah.
And they were playing that show. So it was like I pretty much made my dream bill for a show, but I couldn't get in because it was 21 plus at the Hard Rock. And
couldn't make an exception. That's
I know.
ridiculous.
Well, luckily, I knew the door girl from college, and she texted me. She was like, "Hey, are you playing tonight?" And I'm like, "No, but I'm like dying to get in, and I can't." And then she was like, "Oh, I'll talk to some people," and she got me in. So like 20 minutes after the show started, I like ran through the doors and I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm here!" And then so I saw Leaving Eden play. It was like the first time seeing them play without me, which was pretty cool. And then I saw Flight of Fire, and then I was like in love. And then so I talked to them afterwards, and I was like, "Hey, like we should jam sometime, or like let's like hang out." And so the drummer of that band, Shayna, at the time, she's not their drummer anymore.
Yeah.
And Tanya, the guitarist, we ended up jamming and forming our own band. And it was actually almost a year ago today that we played our first show.
Oh, wow.
As it was like my first
happy anniversary.
Thank you. It was like my first experience doing my solo stuff with a like real band.
Yeah.
And so I met them at that show. I was just like, I got to book these guys. I got to meet them. And it was funny because I didn't really talk to Tanya at all in the beginning. I think I talked to Shayna and Tia, the bassist, for like the first couple of months just online. And then when I got Shayna as a drummer, she was like, "Oh, let's bring Tanya in." And so Tanya stayed with me ever since.
You guys definitely have a chemistry on stage.
I love pushing her around.
And she has that bow. That's like super badass.
She's such a Jimmy Page fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's awesome. Yeah, I love playing with Tanya.
Okay. If you could play with any artist, who would it be?
Oh man. Well, I want to say immediately Joan Jett, but I think I'd be too intimidated. I don't feel ready for that yet. Man, that's a good question. There's so many even just local bands or like bands around Boston that I'd like dream of playing with.
Yeah.
I actually got one of my favorite singers, Noelle LeBlanc, from the Organ Beats, and she was in a band called Damone, and she played on this new record. And I love them so much. And she was on the top of that list for a while. She's still on that list. I'd still love to work with her again, do some stuff with that band. Grace Potter would be cool.
She's awesome.
I want her to do one of her like screams on my album, just out of nowhere. But I think she'd be fun to work with. Definitely, she's got that like blues thing, which like I don't have too much of that. So I think like maybe we could make something cool. So Grace, if you hear this, let's do a collaboration.
Cool. How did you pick your lineup for your album release party? Because you have 3 bands? Yeah, there's 3 other bands. I got Jack Romanov. They're a band that I played with at O'Brien's in Boston this past summer. And I just remember loving their energy. I was just like, this band is like, they're in it, like they're going at it. And I love that. And so we kept in touch, and we've been meaning to get a show together, but we haven't been able to like work it out. Yeah. So I asked them to play this show, and then we got Great White Tourist. I work with the drummer, so I was like, you should come and play. And he's like, yeah. So like they play mostly in Manchester. Cool. And they've been trying to get into Boston, so I was like, we got to do something. And then the Little War Twins, they're one of my favorite bands, just like of all time. They're super inspiring. They've been touring the world, like touring America for a while, just out of their van. And wow. They're really, really, really in it. And have they been doing it for a while? They have, yeah. Actually, I met them when I was like 15 or 16, and they used to host some of the shows I did, and like the first shows I ever played in Boston and Cambridge. And they would always be dancing like crazy for Left Hand Blue, and they were so supportive all the time, and just always really inspirational. So I was super excited when they said they could play it. Cool. Yeah. That's awesome. It'll be a good night of rock and roll. And that's in Somerville? It's in Somerville. It's actually a new venue. It's called Once Ballroom. Oh, I've never heard of it. Yeah, and they just started up. It's I think a lot of the people that used to work at TT's, actually, when that closed, they transferred over here. And I want to get that venue, like I want people to know about it, and I want people to get like as excited about it as I am, because so many places are closing,
And to hear about a new one opening up is super exciting.
Yeah, there do seem to be a lot of places that are closing.
Yeah, I think Johnny D's just closed. Copperfield's, like a lot of the places I used to play, just like no more.
And even the Chit Chat I heard is being.
Oh no! Really?
I think it has a new owner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're still going to do music and stuff, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I found that out
good news.
a couple weeks ago.
Nerve-wracking when management changes. Never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I really like the way they have it now.
Yeah.
For sure.
I love it. That was some of our best shows last summer.
Yeah. Wait, we saw you
met
there. Yeah, I think it was October.
Yeah.
That was an awesome show.
That was the one with Rachel, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was super cool. There's always good energy there. It's always packed and like everyone gets so into it.
Yeah, I like those like really intimate spaces.
Me too.
Kind of more than the bigger ones.
Yeah, totally. I haven't played too many like huge ones yet, but definitely like if you play like a big hall and it's just kind of like not full, it just feels kind of empty when like you can get like a small place and get the same amount of people. Yeah. It's just like, this is so cool.
Packed. Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
I feel like they both have their ups and downs, you know?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Sometimes like the sound system will be better at this one, but the space won't be as like as cool as one that's just smaller where everyone's just close together.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to have it'd be cool to have a balance of that. I think I love the smaller places. I'm going to always love the small places.
Same.
And just packing like even just a house, like a basement or something.
Yeah.
It's just such good energy. Like
I've played plenty of basements.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's the way to do it, honestly.
Yeah.
So your band is up for a couple of awards, the Limelight Award or the Limelight Awards and the Worcester Music Awards. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was shocked to see that. I actually got confused when I saw the Limelight one, and I knew there was voting for the Worcester one, and I was like, oh, we made it. I mixed them up. I was like, oh, like our voting actually counted, and they like noticed us. And then I got a message like a couple weeks later, and be like, hey, you got into the Worcester, and I'm like, wait, there's two now? And it was funny because I got nominated for Best Punk Act for the Worcester one. And there was also, that was the one where like people were voting for it. Like you could nominate whoever you wanted.
Yeah. Was that the one with online voting?
Yeah.
I think I voted for that one.
That was the one. Yeah. And I voted every single time for Gravel for that nomination because they're one of my favorite punk bands around. And they're in it too. So.
Oh, nice.
And there's a couple other bands, 4 Year Strong, which is kind of funny. Yeah. I mean, they're good, but it's just kind of funny to like see that in there. Yeah. And yeah, I honestly hope Gravel wins because they're super punk and they're super cool. Nice. But yeah, it's cool to get recognized. Even for now, I think that was even more exciting because it's like that album just means so much to me, and I'm just super stoked that it resonates with people. And
well, you know, for now.
For now.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah.
Till Only Roses comes out.
Exactly. Then it won't be for now anymore. It'll be for then.
Yeah.
Can you play a song for us now?
Sure. This one is called Bound to Be. Thanks. I think when I first started writing songs, I remember I was writing them because of like friendships in middle school, and I was like, I just middle school was like, I don't know, it just wasn't great.
Same. Like probably some of the worst years of my life were in middle school, like the most awkward years.
Scarring.
Yeah, it really is.
See, for me, it was like different. Middle school was okay, then high school really, really sucked.
Well, high school just like it didn't get any better. It just like I was used to it by that point. I think.
High school was like the holographic card of the middle school Pokemon.
It's a very, very good way of putting it.
It was evolved.
Yes, definitely. But I was like, I started writing, like, I didn't even journal, and I was like, I want to just write songs, and I didn't really play guitar very well, or I was trying to do piano too, and I was so nervous to sing. Wasn't even thinking about singing. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, I'll just write and like try to rhyme. And so like my first, I think it carried over into uppercase E. Around like that time, I was just like, well, this is what a song is. It's like verse, verse, chorus, verse, verse, chorus.
Yeah.
Or like, and I didn't really experiment too much because I was too focused on what was already. Yeah, I was kind of like, I got to fit it into a formula, and like I got to make it relatable, and like I was too afraid to say certain things, and I was like, no, I'm too nervous or embarrassed, or so I held back on that record like a little more than I wish I did. And then with the second album, I was more like, I did some songs in the studio where they're just like one take, and I actually went in with a couple songs that weren't even finished, and I just winged them, and those were my favorite ones on there because they were like, the last song, Greener Than, I didn't even have it written. I was just like, just roll it, and then I just like, I was like, it was something that was just like so like bottled up in me that I had to just get out, and luckily he captured it, and I was like, all right, that's it.
That's
and
awesome.
I think I was more like able to just be okay with what I was feeling and saying, and be more honest. And I heard some quotes from some of my favorite singers like Kathleen Hanna that like really inspired me to just be like, I don't have to follow any structure or formula. I just have to get what I have in me out. Yeah. And that's going to be the most genuine way, and it's going to feel the best. And she said something like, sometimes like the most embarrassing things in her lyrics are the things that sound the most perfect, because it's like she's so embarrassed by it, but it's like it's flawless because she's totally genuine saying it. Yeah. And that like hit me real hard, and I was like, I got to do that, because I can't, if I hold back, then people will feel it, and if I don't, then like people will like it. And I think that was huge. And then I think also just listening to more music over time, and just hearing what my idols were doing, and kind of finding myself through music, I was able to like kind of write better, or like have more things to kind of reference, I guess, and like be like, oh, like this sounds better than that, or I don't know, just more free, I guess.
Good enough. Cut.
Cool.
Again, continue.
You too.
I had a question. He made me forget it. Hold on. It's still in here. Did when you were just starting to write music, did somebody suggest like maybe you should try writing music, or was that something that you kind of felt out on your own?
It was definitely something that I felt on my own. I could tell my dad has always wanted me to be a musician, and like kind of follow in his footsteps with that, because he did it for a long time. Yeah. And he pretty much stopped when my brother and I were born. So and he plays a lot just kind of for himself now, but it was definitely more like, I'm so fed up with the people around me, and I don't know how to vent this out, and the only way that I felt right about venting it out was through songs. And I think it was definitely more just like, I just have to do something about this, and like journaling didn't feel right, and like yelling at all my friends didn't feel right. So I was like, I'm just gonna write this down and like secretly know that everything's okay.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Did you want to do your lightning round, or did you have a lightning round of questions?
I don't have a lightning round.
We could think of something
ready,
right now.
We'll do something.
Yeah. He was thinking of doing like a lightning round of like
what's your favorite color?
What's your favorite color?
Oh,
what's your favorite flavor
song?
of pie?
What's your favorite?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go. Lightning.
Okay. So.
All right. You want to start?
Let's
or
think
do
of
I?
like 5 concrete ones first. Okay. So favorite color, favorite song, favorite pizza flavor.
No, favorite pizza topping.
Favorite pizza topping. Favorite.
Favorite McDonald's dollar menu chunk.
Oh man, 2 for 2.
Yeah. And one to bring it home. Has to be a good one. Favorite
instruments.
Favorite instrument to play, to hear.
Favorite instrument that you don't own.
Okay.
Sure. Let's do that one.
That one's not that great, though. We're leaving this in.
Favorite David Bowie album.
Ooh.
That one's,
man.
I know it's hard, but
that's
rough.
A
great question, though.
Mine's probably Hunky Dory if I had to choose.
It's a great album.
I don't know.
Man, everything is gold by him.
Yeah.
Really though. All right, so lightning round.
All right.
What is your favorite color?
Blue.
I already forgot the second question.
All right, we'll keep going. What is your favorite pizza topping?
Pineapple and bacon.
Pineapple.
Oh wow,
man,
that's good.
All right. I'll let that one go. What is your favorite? What was the other one?
David Bowie album.
What was your favorite David Bowie album?
I have to say Scary Monsters.
Oh, me too.
Yep.
Such a good album, man.
Yeah.
Nice. And there was one other one in there. I already forgot.
There were 5 of them. We only did 3.
We did 4.
No, we did 3.
Oh, I started naming off other albums.
Your favorite McDonald's dollar menu item?
McDouble, as gross as that is.
Nice.
Well, it's McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's all gross, but it tastes like home.
It feels so good going down.
Yeah.
And then once it's down, it's just
you just
ready to come back up again.
Yeah.
We could go on about fast food, but let's
okay.
Favorite instrument that you don't own.
All right, we're doing that one, I guess.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Maybe a piccolo.
A piccolo?
I could totally rock a piccolo.
I could see that.
Feeling a little bit Dragon Ball Z today.
Maybe a stand-up bass.
Yeah.
I've always wanted one of those.
That's fancy.
That'd be cool. I don't know how to play that though.
Oh.
It'd be pretty embarrassing.
Always been interested in the banjo.
Banjo. I actually have a banjo.
Can you play it?
I can play Unwell by Matchbox 20.
Oh my god, that is so cool.
But that's it. That's
nice. That's great.
And we are officially derailed.
By Matchbox 20 of all things.
Yes. This next song is called Only Roses, and it's the title track off my new album, which drops May 14th.
May the 14th be with you.
You carved your heart in my hands, ink made the blood, but the sea doesn't look the same when you're in it, keeping up. It's caving in with me, and yes, I'm strong, but equal I never try to win them over. I don't wanna win them over. I don't have much else left to gamble. Only roses grow if you keep them where you found them. But you and I, my dear, we've got places to go. You and I, my dear, we've got places to go. You and I, my dear, we've got places to go.
That was Carissa Johnson live in the HC Media studio performing the title track from her new album, Only Roses, which drops May 14th. And so ends another fabulous episode of Off the Record. I'd like to thank Carissa Johnson for being here.
Thanks so much for having me. You're listening to HC Media Radio, and here's my song, Deliria.
Bye.